Today is Sunday, April 27th, and 2025. It's been a while since I've done an update, but you can see some of the progress here. I've got some seedlings that I've been going. The peppers are going really slow, and then I think this is, I want to say it's bok choy, but you can tell it's already bolted, so not sure what I'm going to be able to do with that. Got some lettuce though, some of the Bulgarian leeks, and kohlrabi. So I'll be transplanting that soon. And then these are the Johnny Jumper viola that I got from seed. And then we've got our new perennial bed that we're starting here. And let me just show it kind of here. So we had our septic worked on, and we had a big mud pit, so we got a bunch of wood chips for free and put them in here. Not sure if that works turning the camera. Hopefully it doesn't disorient people, but you can see we've got some cone flowers here and some gerbera daisies, some primrose. This Appalachian mint I thought had died when we had some snow over the winter, but it came back. Found this dianthus for cheap at Lowe's. Seems like it's going to do okay though. More gerbera daisies. More primrose. Notice this primrose came from the Growers Outlet, I think in Loganville, Georgia. And compare it to the primrose from Lowe's. And this primrose at Lowe's, now I got it for sale, but originally it was $8. This one from the Growers Outlet, I think was like half that price. So better quality and much cheaper. Also got a clematis. You can see here I'm letting a lot of stuff go to seed just so that I have some for the next go round with my brassicas. Look at all those collards. All the bees love getting that. And I'll probably chop and drop it once I get all the seeds. Over here I've planted some watermelon starts. So this is a theme, but my starts, my seed starting methods are pretty inadequate, but they're there. I'm also going to be direct sowing some as like a little succession planting. And then coming over here, I still have to plant some more of our perennials here. Got some of this lamb's sage. I love the way that feels. And we've got some sweet alyssum, which will get some beneficial insects into the garden area. And this, I think, is some type of an iris. And the garlic that I planted last fall is coming along well. Look at all these blueberries coming along nicely. You can see I built this little trellis here, and I'm hoping that some of these squash, I forget exactly which squash, but I've got like 3 or 4 different types planted along here. And I've got my little things with mothballs and water, trying to keep the squash vine borers away. And then here my little persimmon tree came back. I think this is the Fuyu persimmon. I don't know if you remember that raspberry I thought was going to die Well, look, it didn't just come up. Now it's spreading. So probably gonna be like an invasive thing. I don't know, but it's definitely doing well. And this is my arugula that I'm letting go to seed so that I have some more to plant. And then I direct sowed some arugula there. So we'll continue having that. And then I planted some daikon radishes here. And then for the Tomato Challenge 2025, this is my Big Zack tomato. And there's my other Big Zack tomato. And in between, I've got some other tomatoes. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I think, again, my seed starting is very inadequate, but you can see they've got like, I don't know, silver on their leaves. I think I left them in the single cell trays for too long. Got like 3 or 4 types of tomatoes, but hopefully now that I've got them in this ground, they'll start to pick up, but we'll see. I'm growing some sartreuse. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And basically just planted it where I had some my carrots before, and my collard greens, harvested all of them. And you can also see here I planted some sweet potato slips in a few spots around this part of the garden. There's another one. And I'm hoping that'll be a nice ground cover. The cabbages are still coming along. Some are bolting, but some are forming some nice heads. Over here, this is the kohlrabi that I'm letting go to seed so I can have more seeds for the next planting of that. Over here, these are some of the, I think they're called Thai long beans that I direct sowed there. I got them from Baker's Creek. And some squash and some more lettuce. And oh wow, I just noticed my my little bean trellis fell over. I'll have to fix that. Looks like it fell right on my asparagus bed. But the asparagus is doing well. Otherwise, I need to come out here and harvest a lot of these snap peas. I'll do that later. And I've still got some onions that are bulbing all right. And this, I think, is a broccoli. Then I let go to, see, no, actually, I think this one is a radish. Yeah, radish. And then over here, so I planted some peas at the base of this to give this some nitrogen. This is the Maywa kumquat, but I think the frost, you can see, killed this. And I'm guessing that it is now only alive below the graft point. So, not sure. I'm gonna have to look more into that. Also, along this fence, I direct sowed some watermelons. I don't see them coming up yet, but the goal is once I cut this down, then the watermelons will go over and into this where I had watermelon last year. And then I also planted some seedling, well, I had started the seedlings, okra. And so I had okra here last year, and the goal is for it to grow nice and tall, have some good okra, and then underneath it all will be some watermelon. And see, I direct sowed more lettuce this week. Got a couple cabbages over there. That's the butter crunch lettuce up towards the front. And over here I planted some peppers. I planted, I think, 2 peppers. And then if I go up here, this is where I'm going to have all of my eggplants. So I've planted some, I think I've got 2 different types of eggplants here. And then I also planted my 2 moringa seeds that I started. Not sure they liked being transplanted, but you can see there they are. And here's another, I think this one's another radish that I'm letting go to seed. And some more lettuce. My pawpaw tree that I was babying with this shade cloth is coming back, so that's good. And I planted another one. I got 10 pawpaw trees and 10 persimmon trees from the Missouri, I think, Forestry Division. And they were like 10 trees for 20 bucks, bare roots. Over here we have this mulberry tree that I planted in the fall. And you can see it's just now starting to get some little mulberries back there. I am going to prune the branches in half after they've produced their mulberries. I read that that will get them to produce more mulberries in 45 days. And this blackberry is doing very well, to the point where I probably want to get some more. Maybe make like a trellis system for them to develop on. I've put some loofah squash in these bins. These bins were here from the previous owner, and they're very hard to move because when you try to move them, the sun has just disintegrated them. So I'm planting loofah in them. These are some of the fava beans here that I planted in the fall. And over here we got another blueberry and some more squash, another one of those Thai long beans. This is a daikon radish that I let go to seed here. You can see this pawpaw is coming back as well. And got some more cabbage. Not looking too great, but some of them are forming heads, so I'm gonna go ahead and see what comes of that. And over here I've got my corn. I got this from Baker Creek. I forgot what it's called. I think like the atomic orange corn. But I've planted all this like a 4 foot by 4 foot patch. I'm going to let it grow probably another week, and then I'm going to direct sow some beans. And then I'll wait another week or 2, and then I'll plant some squash. I'm going to try to do the 3 sisters method for that. Over here I've got some more of the daikon radishes I direct sowed a while back. I think that's the Minowase daikon radish from Baker Creek. I've got some more of those Thai long beans there. Another blueberry bush. This is my fetid swamp water experiment. I read about that from David the Good, so I just kind of let it hang out here, and then I dilute it and use it as fertilizer. Nice way to get rid of my beans. Not beans, weeds. Well, sometimes the beans grow like weeds. You can see here, I've got some peas planted around this American persimmon. And over here we've got a closer look at, this is one of the Big Zack tomatoes. And I took out all the collard greens. I just cut them off as low as I could with my loppers. Left all the roots in there. And then you can see these are the tomatoes I was telling you about. So if you know of something I should do maybe to help these, please let me know. I've Got some Roma, some Search for Vase. Left some of my carrots in here, still need to get them. This Big Zack tomato is doing much better here. And I've got some more Minawase daikons that I direct sowed there. Alright. And this is the outrageous lettuce. So I found that the outrageous lettuce and the butter crunch lettuce, those two seem to do better for me. And then coming over here, I planted my cucumbers. And again, my seed starting methods are woefully inadequate. And there they are. They are starting though to make little flowers. So I don't know, we'll see. Just in case, I direct sowed some cucumbers there. And I don't know if you have any recommendations, I'll take them, because this is my first time doing this. But this is hopefully going to be a cucumber patch. And over here, these are some elderberry cuttings that I had overwintered. I need to transplant them. These are the cassava cuttings from Daisy the Good's Etsy store. And I had overwintered them as cuttings. They did well inside, but now, since I transplanted them, they're struggling. I think I might have accidentally broken off some of the roots when I was transplanting them. And here we've got some daylilies around where they did a clean out for the septic. The septic system's not here. The septic system is over there. We put the chairs, and we don't have anything planted there. That way, if they need to get to it again, they can. And then we've got some lavender, some more sweet alyssum. And this is a honeysuckle here in the corner. Looking forward to that growing along the fence. Alright. And then over here we've got some, I think these are peonies. And so we've got some white ones. Look at how beautiful these are. Big. And they smell wonderful, like a creamy sweetness. Here's one that's about to bloom. And here's another one that's just about done blooming. And it's just so beautiful, and they smell wonderful. We're going to try to split those, move them around. And then we've also got our hellebore. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly over there with our hosta. And look at this, I had even planted some purple top turnips along here. One of them here is going to seed, so I'll let it go so I have more seeds. Hydrangea, lots of daylilies. We've been taking some of these and transplanting them around. And then over here is some of the cactus that I got from the David the Good school group. That one must have gotten upturned. And some more of those persimmon or pawpaw trees that I got for cheap. And then some more purple top turnips that I just decided to throw in there. Also, I planted these elderberries outside. I did some inside, some outside. These didn't do well. I think the winter killed them. And these are some roselle that I got from the David the Good school. I planted them kind of along here. I think there's some more over here. Yep. There's another one. I also direct sowed some sunflowers all over here as a way to block the view of the neighbor. And then there's more roselle. Planted some squash there. Had some extras. You can see the fava beans are still coming in there. And what was it? There was one other thing I wanted to show. Oh yeah, so our neighbor has a beautiful peach tree, and it was hanging over. It's already making lots of peaches. But what I did, I tried to air graft it. And the air graft seems to have taken. So I'm keeping that going. And then over here, see, this is another one. I think this is one of those either pawpaw or persimmon that I got. 10 bare root plants for 20 bucks. And here's another one. And then some roses that I had gotten for Mary. I got this a few years back for Mother's Day. It's beautiful. This one was given to us by a neighbor. Not sure, looks like it might be having some trouble. I don't know, what do y'all think? Is that a fungus? Or let me know. And then this one I just planted over here. This was one I got her for Valentine's Day. And it was dying, but now it looks like it's coming back, so that's good. And all in all, let's see, we got some more hydrangea. We've got, I think that's a type of ornamental ginger. This is I think this is a Laura patellum. Huge. Has real pretty pink flowers. I think it's also called Chinese fringe flower. And then, oh, look here. So I had even tried to direct sow some beets over the fall. They're still trying to hang in there. Another one of our little trees. And yeah, so that is the garden.